And he continued to suggest that a Pacquiao Mario Barrios welterweight title fight was possible. Bob Santos, the trainer for Mario Barrios, has said recently that he believes
6-year-old Manny Pacquiao coming out of retirement to face 29-year-old Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight championship on July 19th in Las Vegas. That's according to an ESPN report. Pacquiao last fought in 2021 when he lost to Yordenis Ugas. Barrios won the WBC welterweight title from Ugas in 20.
This isn't just a comeback, it's a full-blown spectacle. Once the electrifying force who conquered 8 divisions, Pacquiao is now a 45-year-old icon chasing one last shot at greatness.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion. So who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. That's a tremendous fight. It was released, BBC. Manny Pacquiao first title was the flyweight WBC, and he wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
On the other side stands Barrios, young, sharp, and riding a wave of momentum. He's not here to play the supporting role in someone else's farewell. This isn't just about belts. It's about pride, legacy, and whether Father Time can finally land a knockout.
Manny Pacquiao getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, it definitely has to do with money. 1, 2, I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. You know, he didn't.
Pacquiao's return feels like a twist pulled straight from a Rocky script, except this time it's real. After a humbling 2021 defeat to Yordenis Ugas, many assumed the Pac-Man had thrown his final punch, yet here he is, gloves laced, eyes locked on Barrios and the WBC welterweight title. It's a move so bold it almost defies belief. Sure, his last performance showed signs of age slower, more labored, but legends don't retire at the sound of doubt. Meanwhile, Barrios is no token opponent. He's young, dangerous, and climbing fast. While Pacquiao was in politics, Barrios was grinding in gyms. It's the age-old clash, the aging lion versus the hungry predator, and this time, the lion might be running out of roars.
Who is not so happily retired, seems to still be antsy about fighting. I was at the Andy Ruiz workout in LA this past week, and Sean Gibbons was there representing Isaac Cruz and part of that contingent.
Veteran promoter Eddie Hearn didn't sugarcoat it. He said Pacquiao could still beat guys outside the top 20, not exactly a glowing review. It's like saying, sure, Grandpa can still drive, just not on the freeway, and that's what makes this fight so provocative. Pacquiao isn't facing a washed-up veteran, he's challenging an active champion. Fans are split. Some are reliving 2008, others fear this ends not with applause, but with a stretcher. And let's be honest, Pacquiao has made a career out of doing the impossible. But in 2025, the punches hit harder, the feet move slower, and recovery takes weeks, not minutes.
Has said recently that he believes it was going to happen. What do you think of your old foil there, Manny Pacquiao, getting back in the ring again for a world title fight?
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
This matchup feels like a crossover event between eras. Barrios has little to lose and everything to gain. A win over Pacquiao elevates him overnight. A loss, he still shared the ring with greatness, but for Pacquiao, it's all or nothing. Every exchange echoes the ghosts of past glories. Some insiders aren't buying the fairy tale. Trainer Greg Hackett called it what he sees a money fight. In his view, this is about pay-per-view dollars, not honor. Still, boxing has always been part sport, part spectacle. And let's be real, calling out Barrios instead of a killer like Crawford was no accident. It's calculated risk, just enough threat to sell tickets, but not enough to become a cautionary tale.
62 8-2 with 39 knockouts. Barrios 29 2-1. And for more, welcome in CBS Sports combat analyst Brian Campbell. Manny Pacquiao, the first and only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC is going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up
He
for a
does.
Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Mandy.
Timothy Bradley echoed the skeptics. He believes this comeback is more about casting competition. After all, who else gets a title shot straight out of retirement? Barrios knows the setup. 2. He's the young wolf invited to the King's banquet not to honor him, but to unseat him. For Pacquiao, it's a high-wire act between triumph and tragedy, a win, and he adds another jewel to his legacy. A loss, especially a brutal one, could redefine how history remembers him. In boxing, memories last, but forgiveness is rare.
I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, a fighter, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, bigger fighter, knows how to, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous.
What makes this clash so compelling is what it represents, a generational collision. Barrios is the future precise, technical, condition. Pacquiao is heart, hustle, and chaos. It's not just old versus young, it's textbook versus unorthodox. Even now, Pacquiao's wild angles and unpredictable movement can throw younger fighters off. Just ask Keith Thurman, who found himself on the canvas in 2019. But that was 6 years ago, and time moves faster in boxing. Every missed training day is a landed punch. While Pacquiao was making speeches, Barrios was making rounds, yet Pacquiao still carries an aura. You don't walk into the ring with him expecting an easy night, and that's why Barrios can't afford a single mistake.
Sports combat analyst Brian Campbell, Manny Pacquiao, the first and only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC is going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And
the media frenzy is in overdrive. Pundits, podcasters, and retired fighters are firing off hot takes. Some believe Manny still moves like a hummingbird on Red Bull. Others say he couldn't outrun a limping tortoise. But this fight isn't just about the boxers, it's about what boxing is becoming. Is it still a young man's game of grit and discipline, or a nostalgia-fueled money machine? Either way, Vegas is ready. The lights, the celebrities, the chaos, it's all part of the show. Boxing has always been theater, and Pacquiao, even now, is still the main event.
this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion, Mario Barrios?
Barrios isn't playing the role of starstruck fan. He's here to spoil the script for him. Beating Pacquiao isn't about sentiment, it's about climbing the ranks. He doesn't care if Manny's a living legend. He's another obstacle. Pacquiao's return isn't about easing into retirement, it's defiant, almost reckless. He's not golfing, he's fighting someone who was in grade school when he won his first title. It's insane, and that's what makes it beautiful. But beneath the spectacle is a grim truth. Pacquiao's body isn't what it once was. The heart may never age, but the chin does, and Barrios is coming to test both.
But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios. Like, maybe it's
Damn.
recency bias. I saw that fight, that Barrios Fabian Maidana fight that was on the Canelo undercard.
Yeah.
I wasn't all that impressed.
And then there are the conspiracies. Some fans believe the WBC is staging this as a smokescreen. Others think Barrios was chosen precisely because he's flashy but beatable. Some speculate this is the start of a full Pacquiao return tour, possibly ending in a mega fight. One Redditor even claimed this is all part of a documentary. Pacquiao posts one clip of him hitting mitts, and half the internet declares him immortal. Forget Biology 5 fast punches and fans are screaming, he's back. But as always, myths don't hit back. Doubt, on the other hand, punches hard.
To say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds.
Barrios has stayed mostly silent to silent. Some say, is it laser focus or quiet panic? Whether he's sharpening his skills or bracing for a legend, he knows this isn't just about it's a moment in boxing history, and history doesn't care about your potential. Legends don't always age gracefully. For every George Foreman, there's a Roy Jones Jr., and that's the line Pacquiao is walking between myth and mortality. Yet even in this chaos, there's poetry. Pacquiao has never taken the easy road. Maybe this is his final rebellion facing youth with nothing but willpower and muscle memory. Maybe, just maybe, that's still enough.
But there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Yeah, Reggie's a big Manny Pacquiao fan. He loves him because he knows about Father Time, because Father Time is...
Even if Barrios wins, he walks a fine line. Beat Pacquiao badly. And you're the villain who crushed a legend. Lose. And you're the up-and-comer who got outclassed by a 46-year-old. There are no clean endings here, just complications. Pacquiao's not fighting for legacy, he's already immortal. He's fighting because fighters fight. It's not reason, it's instinct. It's that whisper in the back of his head saying, you've still got it. Maybe that voice is wrong. Maybe it's right. Either way, when the bell rings, the world will be watching, hoping, fearing, remembering, and wondering what happens when time tries to dodge one final punch.
Right, we got him at 10-0, and that's a blessing in and of itself. 10-0 and 8 knockouts. Just signed that nice deal with Turkey as the ring ambassador. So we're well on our way, and tonight's another step in the right direction, and we got to take care of business tonight.
So we're going to be seeing him on some ring cards in the future.
Oh, definitely, definitely. But we got to take care of business tonight. You know, you can't catch your chickens before they're hatched. So we got to take care of business tonight. And this is heavyweights, and we all know with heavyweights, one punch can change anything.
To burning questions have boxing fans and analysts leaning in. Should Manny Pacquiao be stepping back into the ring? And more importantly, can he actually defeat Mario Barrios?
For anybody in the welterweight division, and for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they've got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again.
Oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao one of those in boxing history? Sure. But let's look at a couple things. The last thing to go is power. Yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on